silent forces are quietly unraveling everything you've worked for, stripping your blessings without a sound. Every day, small choices and unnoticed habits are quietly stacking against you, forming invisible chains that block the flow of your destiny. In the shadows of life, these subtle errors creep in, and even the most devoted effort can fall short. Today, I will reveal how a single mistake, often overlooked, can silently destroy your blessings before you even realize it. You will discover ancient Shaolin wisdom that explains why minor misalignments in thought or action, even seemingly harmless ones, can cascade into major consequences. You will learn how true personal mastery is not about grand gestures, but about small, deliberate corrections that align your energy with your purpose. In this video, we will explore rare insights from Shaolin philosophy, the hidden habits that drain your life force, and the practices that allow you to reclaim your blessings. You will uncover why even the most disciplined can fall into traps that remain invisible until it is too late, and how the chosen ones rise above these silent thieves through awareness, courage, and intentional living. By the end of this journey, you will understand the subtle forces shaping your life, recognize the mistakes that have gone unnoticed, and gain practical tools to correct them immediately. The wisdom shared here has been preserved through centuries, yet it is often ignored until now. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, the place where ancient teachings meet modern clarity. Subscribe now and join a community dedicated to uncovering the hidden truths that protect your blessings and ignite your inner power. Stay with me until the end, because what you are about to learn can shift the course of your life forever. Time does not pause, and neither does the quiet drift of opportunity. Each moment that slips without attention carries a weight, invisible yet undeniable. The wisdom of the ancients teaches that the present is the only moment truly alive. Everything else is memory or projection. To linger in hesitation is to invite loss, for life moves swiftly and blessings cannot wait. In the silence of early morning, the Shaolin masters rise, not because they are compelled by duty alone, but because they understand the sacredness of action. A single step taken with awareness can ripple through a lifetime. Waiting until tomorrow allows energy to scatter, intentions to fade, and momentum to stall. Even the smallest delay becomes a quiet surrender to circumstances, a surrender that the chosen ones refuse to grant. Mindfulness is not merely a practice of stillness, it is a practice of alignment with the now. When awareness meets action, every gesture becomes a vessel for progress. A mindful breath, a deliberate step, a kind word spoken at the right moment. They are small, yet they fortify the path, protecting the energy that drives your destiny. The chosen ones understand this principle deeply. Waiting is not neutral. Each moment of inaction is an opportunity slipping beyond reach. Each hesitation a subtle fracture in the armor of personal mastery. Even when the path seems unclear, action rooted in presence shapes clarity. Movement generates insight, and insight illuminates the next step. The power of immediate action lies not in grand accomplishments, but in the sacred consistency of aligning thought, intention, and effort in the moment. This is how the flow of energy is preserved, how blessings are nurtured, and how the quiet discipline of today becomes the triumph of tomorrow. The world often applauds motion, praising those who seem endlessly busy, yet beneath the surface, constant activity can become a silent thief, draining energy and clouding the mind. Ancient Shaolin teachings warn that not all movement leads to growth. True mastery is measured not by how much is done, but by the awareness and intention behind each action. In the quiet halls of the Shaolin Temple, every movement has purpose. Each step, each stance, each breath is deliberate, aligned with a higher principle. There is no wasted motion, no gesture without meaning. The masters move with precision, yet their minds are calm, focused, and aware. This discipline transforms ordinary effort into energy that nourishes the body, sharpens the mind, and strengthens the spirit. Many chase busyness, mistaking it for progress. Tasks pile upon tasks, calendars overflow, and yet the soul feels empty. Energy dissipates like water through fingers, leaving little space for clarity, insight, or true accomplishment. Without mindfulness, the hours pass, and growth remains elusive. Activity alone is hollow. Purpose is the foundation that turns effort into mastery. The path of inner mastery requires examining each action, asking whether it aligns with intention and whether it moves one closer to the self one is becoming. Even small gestures gain power when performed with awareness, while frantic motion without reflection slowly erodes vitality. Discipline, then, is not rigid restriction. It is the art of discerning which movements serve the soul and which merely consume it. In learning to act with intention, one discovers a rhythm that preserves energy, cultivates focus, and honors the flow of life. Progress emerges quietly, almost imperceptibly, yet with each mindful action, the mind sharpens, the spirit strengthens, and the path forward becomes clear. Growth is not in how much is done, but in how deeply each step resonates with purpose. The mind often wanders, chasing thoughts, desires, or fleeting distractions, while the subtle currents of life move quietly beneath awareness. True mastery begins not in the world outside, but in the stillness within. Personal power grows from observing the mind, understanding its patterns, and gently correcting its course before small errors become lasting obstacles. Shaolin teachings emphasize the importance of inner observation. Meditation, reflection, and mindful breathing are not merely exercises, they are tools to illuminate the hidden habits that shape life's outcomes. Every unnoticed thought, every unexamined reaction, quietly influences the flow of energy, guiding it either toward growth or depletion. When the mind remains unobserved, these patterns repeat, often unnoticed, and blessings can slip away without a trace. Life has a way of presenting the same lesson in cycles until it is truly understood. Without reflection, mistakes are like shadows that return, growing heavier each time. A careless word, a fleeting thought of doubt, or an ignored impulse may seem insignificant, yet their accumulation can steer destiny in unexpected directions. Discipline is not only action in the external world but vigilance within, an attentive watch over the self. Through consistent inner observation, one begins to recognize these subtle sabotages. Patterns that once controlled behavior lose their grip. The mind becomes a loyal ally rather than a hidden adversary. Awareness transforms mistakes into guidance, and reflection becomes the path through which energy flows unobstructed. The chosen ones understand that mastery is never a destination but a continuous practice. They honor silence, solitude, and honest introspection, knowing that each moment spent observing the self strengthens clarity and intention. In this way, blessings are not merely pursued, they are cultivated, preserved, and allowed to flourish, carried forward by a mind awake to its own subtle currents. Pride often whispers softly, convincing the mind that it has already arrived, that further effort is unnecessary. Yet the wisdom of the ancients warns that the moment one believes they are enough is the moment growth begins to stall. The ego, subtle and cunning, can mask small errors, allowing them to accumulate quietly until they block the very blessings one seeks. In Shaolin philosophy, humility is not weakness, it is the foundation of true mastery. Even the most skilled monk returns to the basics daily, repeating stances, breathing exercises, and meditative practices. Mastery is never final. It is a continuous refinement of body, mind, and spirit. Every day presents opportunities to correct, to align, and to strengthen. And ignoring this process allows the ego to construct invisible barriers to progress. The ego disguises itself in confidence and accomplishment, creating a false sense of security. It turns minor missteps into blind spots, moments when the mind assumes it is sufficient, unaware that small misalignments are quietly eroding potential. Energy leaks unnoticed, habits harden, and intentions, once pure, begin to drift. Those who do not recognize the ego trap may feel they are advancing, yet their blessings remain just out of reach. True discipline requires constant vigilance, a willingness to examine oneself with honesty and courage. It demands the patience to confront weaknesses and the wisdom to accept correction, no matter how small or uncomfortable. Each act of humility strengthens the mind's clarity and the body's alignment, creating a channel through which energy and opportunity can flow freely. The path of inner mastery honors that perfection is an illusion and progress is eternal. By releasing attachment to the ego and embracing continuous correction, one safeguards abundance, nurtures growth, and moves through life with awareness, grace, and power that is quiet but unshakable. The mind, when scattered, becomes a river that loses its course. Modern life surrounds it with endless noise, messages, alerts, opinions, and temptations that tug relentlessly in every direction. Each distraction draws a fragment of energy, invisible at first, yet over time these fragments accumulate, quietly draining vitality and diverting the flow that should nourish growth and blessings. Shaolin wisdom teaches that energy is sacred. It is the force that powers the body, the clarity of thought, and the depth of spirit. When the mind wanders, this force dissipates, leaking through cracks created by inattention. Even small interruptions, a fleeting worry, a restless thought, a moment spent in idle scrolling can accumulate, leaving the soul fatigued and opportunities unrealized. The practice of mindfulness acts as a shield, strengthening focus and preserving energy. It trains the mind to observe without attachment, to recognize when it drifts, and to return gracefully to the present. In stillness and deliberate attention, energy that was once scattered is reclaimed, concentrated, and directed toward purposeful action. Discipline lies not in resisting every temptation with force, but in cultivating awareness of where the mind and body expend power. By noticing small distractions before they multiply, one prevents leaks that silently weaken progress. Every mindful breath, every conscious step, every pause to reflect fortifies the flow of energy, creating a rhythm where intention and action are aligned. The chosen ones understand that blessings cannot manifest fully in a distracted mind. True mastery requires guarding attention as one would protect treasure. Energy is neither infinite nor easily regained once lost, but through consistent mindfulness, it is cultivated, preserved, and allowed to fuel the path ahead, bringing clarity, strength, and the quiet power to manifest the life one is destined to claim. Fear has a way of whispering, soft yet persistent, convincing the mind to look away from what must be faced. Mistakes, once made, linger in shadow, and the longer they remain unseen or uncorrected, the more their consequences grow. Life does not pause for hesitation, and the cost of avoidance quietly accumulates, often until it becomes overwhelming. In the teachings of the Shaolin masters, courage is not a fleeting burst of bravery, but a steady, disciplined practice. They understood that growth demands the willingness to confront discomfort, to examine errors honestly, and to act before small cracks widen into irreparable fractures. Every mistake acknowledged is a step toward clarity, and every correction strengthens the alignment of mind, body, and spirit. Delaying correction is like leaving a small fire unattended. It may seem harmless at first, but it quietly spreads, consuming energy, opportunities, and even the blessings meant to flow naturally. Fear masks itself as prudence or patience, yet it is often the thief that allows setbacks to grow unnoticed. Awareness alone is not enough. It must be paired with decisive action, a willingness to face what is uncomfortable, and the discipline to restore balance before loss takes root. Inner mastery is cultivated through this courageous vigilance. The mind learns to observe without judgment, to recognize patterns that lead to error, and to act swiftly to correct course. The body too responds, releasing tension accumulated from avoidance and regaining harmony with purpose. In this way, discipline becomes a tool not of restriction, but of protection, guiding energy back into alignment and preserving the flow of blessings. The path of mastery demands that mistakes are met with clarity, not fear, with action, not delay. Courage, exercised consistently, transforms missteps into teachers and discomfort into the quiet force that strengthens resilience, wisdom, and the ability to walk a life of intention without regret. The mind craves connection, yet it often fears the stillness that comes with being alone. In that fear, many avoid solitude, filling hours with noise, distraction, or endless activity. Yet the deepest growth, the quiet unfolding of clarity and power, emerges not in company, but in the sacred space of reflection. Blessings, like seeds, require room to take root. Without silence, they struggle to grow. Shaolin teachings hold solitude as a form of strength. The masters spent hours in meditation, walking alone in the forest, observing the rhythm of their breath and the flow of life around them. In these moments, the mind is both quiet and attentive, revealing patterns, uncovering hidden habits, and illuminating the choices that have gone unnoticed. Solitude becomes a mirror, reflecting the true self, both its strengths and its vulnerabilities. Avoiding this stillness keeps the mind clouded. Repeated errors often stem from a mind never given the space to see itself clearly. When life is always external, lessons remain incomplete, energy scatters, and intentions falter. The discipline of being alone cultivates awareness, patience, and insight. Each period of reflection strengthens focus and allows wisdom to emerge naturally, without force or distraction. Through solitary practice, even the smallest shifts within can grow into profound transformation. Thoughts become clearer, priorities realign, and energy consolidates. The world outside no longer dictates the rhythm of the mind. Instead, the mind sets its own cadence, guided by clarity and purpose. Those who embrace solitude understand that it is not isolation but a sacred opportunity to reclaim power. Blessings thrive in quiet, intentions are sharpened, and mistakes lose their hold. By welcoming moments alone, the path of mastery becomes visible, steady, and aligned, allowing life to unfold with precision, insight, and enduring strength. The body is more than a vessel. It is a living map of the mind and spirit. Every tension, ache, or stiffness carries a message, often unnoticed, guiding attention to where energy has been blocked or misaligned. Shaolin wisdom teaches that body and mind are inseparable. Neglect one and the other falters, slowing the flow of life and the arrival of blessings. In the quiet practice of stance and movement, the masters learn to read the body as a teacher. A tight shoulder, a restless foot, a shallow breath, these are not mere physical discomforts, but indicators of inner imbalance. The body speaks in subtle language, revealing fears, unhealed wounds, and patterns that silently drain energy. Ignoring these signals allows obstacles to grow unnoticed, blocking clarity, diminishing vitality, and stalling the natural flow of abundance. Discipline is not only in rigorous training, but in the attentive care of the self. Mindful movement, stretching, and breath awareness reconnect the mind with the body, dissolving tension and restoring harmony. As the body relaxes and strengthens, the mind becomes sharper, more present, and more aligned with purpose. Energy moves more freely, and the path to growth becomes visible. Blessings often arrive through a subtle harmony of body, mind, and spirit. When one element is neglected, even the most determined effort cannot fully manifest results. Listening deeply to the body, honoring its messages, and responding with care and intention transforms minor discomforts into insights, stagnation into flow, and limitation into opportunity. Those who treat the body as a guide rather than a tool discover a quiet power. Every breath, every posture, every gesture becomes a lesson in alignment and presence. In this union of body and mind, the flow of energy is preserved, mistakes are revealed early, and blessings find space to grow, nurtured by awareness, discipline, and respect for the wisdom that resides within oneself. Effort alone does not guarantee progress. Hands may move, hours may pass, yet if the heart and mind are not aligned with purpose, energy dissipates and blessings remain just out of reach. Ancient Shaolin teachings remind that the root of action is intention. Without clarity, even disciplined practice can drift like a leaf on a restless wind. Intentions are the quiet compass guiding every thought and movement. When they are misaligned, energy is scattered, subtle errors multiply, and opportunities for growth slip away unnoticed. A task performed for recognition, fear, or fleeting desire may appear productive, yet it diverts strength from the path that truly matters. Mindfulness teaches us to pause, to look inward, and to examine motives without judgment. This reflection reveals whether actions serve the highest self or merely feed the ego. Self-mastery is cultivated in this inner alignment, Each decision, each movement becomes a deliberate act of coherence, a channeling of energy toward meaningful growth. The Shaolin masters practiced tirelessly, not only to perfect technique, but to harmonize mind, body, and spirit, ensuring that every effort expressed their deepest purpose. Misaligned intentions, by contrast, silently erode progress, creating subtle resistance that blocks the flow of abundance and clarity. Awareness of intention transforms ordinary action into profound practice. The simplest gestures, when performed with honesty and alignment, ripple outward, strengthening discipline, focus, and vitality. Every thought examined, every motive clarified, directs energy where it belongs, allowing blessings to manifest fully and naturally. Those who cultivate this inner clarity learn that the quality of effort is inseparable from the purity of intention. Alignment is not static. It requires continuous reflection and adjustment. Through this practice, energy flows freely, growth becomes effortless, and the path of mastery unfolds with precision, grace, and the quiet power of purpose realized. Life moves through a web of subtle currents, where even the smallest decision sends ripples across time. A single thought, a fleeting word, a minor gesture, each carries weight far beyond its apparent size. Shaolin wisdom teaches that mastery begins with honoring these small choices, for they quietly shape the flow of energy, opportunity, and destiny. In the disciplined training of the temple, nothing is overlooked. Every movement is precise, every stance intentional, every breath observed. This practice trains the mind to respect the subtle, to recognize that greatness is not built only in grand actions, but in the accumulation of mindful, deliberate choices. Each small correction, each moment of attention reinforces the path, preventing errors from multiplying unnoticed. Overlooking tiny mistakes, however, allows their effects to compound. A neglected habit, a lapse in focus, or a moment of distraction may seem insignificant at the time, yet over days, weeks, and years, these fragments of carelessness accumulate. The result often feels sudden, a collapse or setback that appears out of nowhere, but in truth, it has been quietly forming, a ripple gathering strength across time. The chosen ones understand that vigilance over small choices preserves clarity, energy, and opportunity. Discipline is not only in rigorous training or dramatic decisions, it is in the quiet consistency of aligning every thought, word, and action with purpose. Each mindful choice is a seed planted, and over time, these seeds grow into the fabric of a life rich with blessings and mastery. By observing the ripple effect, one learns patience, attentiveness, and humility. Inner mastery emerges as a result of honoring the small, the subtle, the often unnoticed. In this way, the currents of life are guided, energy is preserved, and the path forward remains clear, steady, and aligned with the higher self. Every loss, every missed opportunity begins quietly, hidden in small habits, unnoticed mistakes, or moments of inattention. The path of the chosen ones shows that the antidote to this silent destruction is immediate awareness. Through daily mindfulness, careful reflection, and disciplined practice, the mind learns to recognize errors before they grow, to realign energy, and to protect the flow of blessings. The wisdom of Shaolin reminds us that mastery is not a sudden achievement, but a continuous practice. Each day offers a chance to observe, adjust, and act with intention. Small steps taken with awareness ripple outward, restoring balance, opening opportunities, and nurturing the life you are meant to lead. By cultivating conscious attention, you reclaim what was lost to distraction, fear, or misalignment. Every moment becomes an invitation to strengthen focus, to honor your intentions, and to walk a path of clarity and power. The chosen ones understand this truth. Awareness is not optional. It is the gateway through which blessings flow freely. Take this lesson into your daily life. Pause, observe, reflect, and act with presence. Let each breath, each decision, and each moment of mindfulness guide you toward alignment and abundance. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this message resonates, subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire and become part of a community dedicated to uncovering ancient wisdom and nurturing inner mastery. May your awareness grow, your energy be protected, and your blessings flourish with each conscious step you take.